Welcome to Persuasion TV. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, right? Before we go on, I would like to say Ramadan Kareem or Ramadan Mubarak to all you guys who are fasting Muslim brothers around the world too, right? Today I'm just doing this special stream, an F1 stream in memory of Stephen Featley, because I used to do this street shows with him on his channel, right? Before we all know what happened, right? Before we continue, just give a shout out to the guys in the chats, right? We got to Miss Mel, Miss Melina, Jordan's here too, and of course, Arsenal 87, and of course the Tyler Vales, right? Guys, I'm doing this, and of course, don't forget, right? Uh, Please donate to the Child Liver Disease Organization, which Stephen supports vehemently while he was still around, right? And he was a very, very strong supporter of this charity. If you are able, please throw in a couple of bucks or pounds or whatever you can do, right? No pressure there, but if it's comfortable with you, please do. I've done, I'm sure Miss Mel has done, Miss Melina has done, right? And of course, big up to Nippon. Nippon, it's early in the morning. If you want to join me, I'll send you the link, right? Nippon, hope you're doing well. Big up to Nippon, right? And then of course, big up to Miss Mel. Nippon is F1. Nippon, if you want to join me, I guess it's about 4 a.m. in the morning in London for you, right? So at the moment now, let's see how things are going on. Right, the grid at the moment now for top 10 is Verstappen, Sainz, Norris, right, Leclerc, Piastri, Perez, Russell, Tsunoda, Stroll, and Alonso. So that's the top 10 lineup for the grid. It's sunny in Australia, right? And at the moment now, I'm watching they're singing the national anthem for Australian national anthem, right? Guys, if you want to hop on to say a few words, right, on behalf of Stephen, the link is in the chats. Just click on it. You can jump on. I'll bring you on, right? You don't have to be an F1 lover, right? For me, I'm doing this watch along because I miss him and I miss doing it with him. There are many, many times where, I mean, Stephen was a character, right? His passion was there. Even though he's an Arsenal fan, we built a bond. We had a respect for each other. And I always knew he was a fighter, right? Even until the end. And I've had a lot of fun times with him on the show when he was doing his, not football show, the F1 show. So, if you go back and look at the videos when he did his F1 shows, there was a lot of screaming and yelling. Especially, he's a big supporter of Lewis Hamilton, right? And the year when Verstappen practically stole, right, Hamilton's title charge for his record 8, right, world championship. But we all saw that, right? All the weird rules the race director did, and Steven was jumping up and down. He was crazy. And of course, there were races when I still remember who was it? Was it Grosjean or something that fiery crashed and he walked out of it. Both of us were sitting there. We were going to, wow, how the hell did he do that? Right? So those were the days, right? But a big up to Stephen. Hopefully you're doing, hopefully all's well with you now, right? But let's get back to the race. We'll go on a bit, right? Miss Mel, yeah. Hope you're doing well, Miss Well. Right. Yeah, he was a great friend. His passion, and to tell the truth, right? If Spurs had more fans like him with that kind of passion and ambition, right, we'll be pushing the club for bigger things, right? Miss Mel saying big up to Nippon too. Thanks, Nippon, for being on. Thank Miss Mel, and for whoever is still in the chats watching this at the moment, please give a like and subscribe. Right? Thank you for your support. And don't forget, if you can, please just give us more donation. If you're able, no pressure, right? The link is there for the child liver disease, right? Which Stephen actually suffered from a very young age. Doctors never gave him much of a chance. He survived way beyond their expectations, and right, knowing him was actually an honor, right? And seeing his passion and his really, I mean, his joy that he did his shows, and of course all his effort he put in right into raising funds for the Children's Liver Disease Foundation, right? Uh, and I also heard that he's actually met Hamilton before, so he's a real big Hamilton fan, right? So to tell the truth, I'm not sure what's happening this year with Hamilton. Ever since he announced that he's moving to Ferrari next year, next season, right? So that's the thing. Is he being given a below par car to drive in, or Mercedes is focusing more on Russell at the moment, while while Hamilton is being sidelined, and slowly he'll be transitioning over to Ferrari, right? As you can see now, the lineup of the grid is the drivers are in on the track, getting ready to get into the cars, right? It's another 9 more minutes before the race starts. Guys, most probably if you're watching live, and I'm watching in Malaysia, my stream might be slow a bit, right? If anything happens, please give me the updates, right? I guess this Australian GP, we were hoping that Ferrari will give Red Bull a run for their money, because last season, during the dominance of Verstappen and Red Bull, apart from just Ferrari winning one race out of the 22, if I'm not mistaken, right? The other 21 were won by Red Bull. I think about 19 was won by Verstappen. It was a record, right? But we would like to see more challenges from the rest of the teams surrounding Verstappen, right, to give him a run for his money. But somehow or another, Red Bull does have a very superior car. So this weekend was supposed to be maybe a challenge for Red Bull, but somehow or another, they did some tweaks and they did some adjustments, and they are back up, right? So they are back up there. Yes, Miss Melina. Yes, Miss Melina. Yeah, Verstappen is good. He's got a good car too, so that's why he's up there. That's why when Steven, when he was doing F1 shows at the time when Red Bull wasn't giving Verstappen such a good car, he was always saying that everything was fixed for him to win, right? But now at the moment, right, Steven did say, last season he was still around before he passed, right? Was he? Did he actually see the first few races, or was it the season before? He did say that since Verstappen does have a good car under him, it doesn't make much of a difference, right? Whether who can beat him or not, because the vehicle is there. But he is a brave fan, I call strong driver, right? Especially if he has got a car. And thanks, Miss Mel. Thanks, Miss Mel. Yep. I did message Jordan. Jordan says it's a bit too late for him to join us, because I did send him the link. Guys, if anyone wants to hop on, the link is up in the chats, right? Or just let me know. I'll send it to you personally if I have your contacts, right? Just hop on, say a few words for Steven, right? The race will be starting in about 5 minutes time. They'll do their formation laps and all that. And of course, let's see how that goes while things are happening. And we'll see what happens, right? The two races in the Middle East, Verstappen was, to tell the truth, way ahead of the rest of the pack. He was already, I can't even say it, like 30 seconds by the time he passed the line, he passed the finish line, right? So the superiority of the Red Bull and the superiority of Verstappen as a driver, we all can see that he doesn't make mistakes, right? And Red Bull doesn't make mistakes as a team, right? So And of course, Miss Mel, thanks for sharing the stream too. Thanks, Miss Melina. Thanks for sharing the stream. Right. Uh, so, and even in Saudi Arabia, right, we are hoping there will be some challenge, right? Because F1, if there ain't much challenge, but you know, there are challenges nowadays. If you the challenge, if it's not in at the top of the at the the front end of the right at the front end of the pack, right, it doesn't somehow or another make it too exciting. But there are a lot of exciting moments behind Verstappen. Yes, Nippon, thanks for right. If you want to join, I'll put the link out there again one more time, just in case you don't have it. Right, Nippon, if you want to, you can pick it up from. You can pick it up from right. Scotty, if you want to join me for an F1 show, Scotty, a watch along. Right, the link is in the chats. Hop on, Scotty. Right, we can talk football if you want to. Right, you know, the reactionary and the whatever you want to say about the Spurs fan base. Big up, Scott. Big up. And I'm sure it's about 11 p.m. in where you are, 10 p.m. where you are, right? Big up, Scotty. I'm doing this for Steven, Scotty. I'm sure you remember Steven, right? You've been, I mean, you're one of the OGs on Spursvision too, right? And Steven has always been on my shows with you guys too, right? Guys, the stream, right? Oh, Scott says I know nothing about F1. Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter, right? And it's a midnight stream for Miss Mel, right? Miss Mel, right? Big up, big up. Yeah, Miss Mel was doing her show earlier, right? The what called Canada versus Trinidad and Tobago. So I'm not sure how that went out, right? By the time I went to sleep, it was 1-0 for Canada. Let's hope Canada did win that game, right? Okay, we got 14 turns in the F1 Grand Prix in Australia, right? Yeah, Stephen tried teaching you some F1. F1 is more like a passion, but somehow or another, a lot of people don't like to watch. I mean, F1, they always say it's an elite sport because of the money that go in. Yes, Scott. Yep. You guys won 2-0. Right. Miss Mel was doing a watch along for it. Right. So Joe Guan Yu starts from the pit lane. No wonder there was 19 people. But of course, Daniel Ricciardo, 18, Pierre Gasly, 17, Nico Hulkenberg, 16, Esteban Ocon, 15, right? Kevin Magnussen at 14, Valtteri Bottas at 13, right? And Alex Albon, the Thai driver, right? He's 12. Lewis Hamilton, he's at 11. I tell you, most probably Stephen will be very upset about that, right? But of course, Alonso is at 10 and Stroll is at 9, right? George Russell, 7. Sonoda is at 8, right? And of course, 6 is Perez. 5th is Piastri. And what do we have? Leclerc is at 4th. Norris is at 3rd, right? And of course, Sainz 2nd. Verstappen is in pole position. So will Verstappen or Leclerc or Norris give Verstappen a run for his money down into the first corner, right? Yeah. And of course, that they say this season, because of the heat is high, the tire degradation is strong. So a lot of players, a lot of the drivers will be looking after their tires, right? So the first 9 cars are on the medium, right? They're still saying whether the hard tires are good, right? Big up, Nippon. Good morning, Nippon.
How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. I see you just woken up, right? What
No,
time?
no,
What
I
time
have.
you starting? What time you start your work?
Sorry,
Sorry.
what?
No, I said you just woken up. Yeah. Are you fasting?
I'm not a Muslim.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean,
Are you
I
keep?
was, I was just gaming.
My God, you just gave me. Haven't slept yet.
No,
Okay. Right. What time's work tomorrow for you?
I'm off.
Oh, it's an off day. That's good. That's good.
That's why I'm awake.
Yeah, that's why you're still gaming, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you watch F1?
Sometimes, in fact, ironically, I'm watching a replay of a racing game. Do you know?
All right.
Do you know some? Do you know a racing game called Gran Turismo?
Heard of it before, but I'm not too much into gaming, Nippon. You know, I'm an old man. My last game I think I played on a TV was Atari or something like that, way back, long time ago.
Yeah, I'm just playing on a very old PlayStation console.
Okay.
It was
All right.
actually it's a PlayStation 2 Lite.
Okay, PlayStation 2 Lite. That's good. That's good. Right. But guys, now on my screen, they're going through the formation lab, right? So that'll take about 1 minute or so before they all line up in the grid before it's going to start, right? And Miss Melina saying hi to you, Nippon. Yeah.
You
We gotta say
okay?
good. Yeah, I'm gonna say
Morning.
good morning to. Sorry.
I said good morning.
Hi. Yes, Nippon says good morning too. Right. So how's work, Nippon?
Yeah, it's good. Good. We were very busy today.
Mm, mm. Does Ramadan affect your business?
No,
Do you get?
it
Do
helps
you,
our business. It
no, I
helps.
mean, yeah. Does it give you better business for iftar?
Yeah, we have a lot of Muslim guests dining at our restaurant to break their fast
That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's good.
because most of our meats, I think the only non-halal stuff on our menu are pork-based items or items
Ah,
that have alcohol in it.
All right. But of course, it depends on how liberal you want to take it, right? Because some Muslims, I mean, when they're traveling and all that, we do have some leeway on the consumption of food, right? But we do try to avoid pork and alcohol as much as we can. If we can't, we still try,
Well,
right?
pork is forbidden.
Sorry?
I swear, pork and alcohol are forbidden in the religion.
Yes, yes, it's haram, but it does says that if you don't have a choice and if you have to eat what you have to eat, right, then it will be forgiven.
Ah, fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah. So the cars are
Apolo-
lining up.
Apologies for drinking on your stream. I mean, you're fasting, so
It's okay. I'm used to it. No problem. Right, no problem. At the moment now, the cars are lining up. They're getting into their positions, right? Let's see. The last car's coming on from the back. Sonoda is starting off from the pit stop, right? And the weather is really hot in Australia now. So the tire degradation is one thing. The engines are all being heated up. And of course, let's see now, right? And the last car is coming in at the back, and the lights are going on, right? We will be seeing the countdown. All the cars will have to start first before Sonoda gets to it. And the lights are on, and we're off. Let's see, Verstappen gets off into a good break to the start, right? Sainz is following behind, and Sainz is trying to get it. No, okay, turn one, they're all navigating turn one properly. They're all through to turn one. Usually F1, going into turn one is the problem. The crashes will start there. Thank you, Miss Melina. Thank you. Right. And Verstappen is pulling away again. So I guess, the security of the car is showing there, right? But there'll be still the fights are still fighting at the back end there. Okay. Okay. So now we still have it's just past the have we gone past the first sector? No, still haven't passed the first sector yet.
my TV in my bedroom does not have
Have everyone.
have a streaming service.
Yeah. And Miss Melina is asking, are we confident of the Spurs Arsenal fixture? to tell the truth, right? Spurs Arsenal fixture is, I think, in another 20 days' time or so. So we don't know. Yeah, I'm not too sure. We have to see what injuries we have and all that. At the moment, passing the main straight comes in Verstappen leading with Sainz, Norris, Leclerc, Piastri, Russell, Perez, Stroll, Sonoda, Hamilton. Hamilton has made up a spot, right? Taken over from Alonso, Bottas, Magnussen, Albon, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Ricardo, and Zhou Guan Yu, right? Yeah. And coming back to that, Miss Mel, honestly, I have to see what kind of injuries we pick up along the way, right? And don't forget, we still have to play you guys, Nippon, Chelsea, right? Battle of the Bridge is back. Yeah.
Of course. Is it at the bridge or at the lane?
At the bridge, right? Remember, you whacked us at the lane.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Carlos Sainz has taken the lead.
Because you guys were 2 men down.
Sorry?
Because
yeah, we were 9. Yeah, we were down to 9 men in that game. Yeah.
I wasn't actually happy with that performance. Because when we were 11v11, you were knocking on the door so many times.
Yeah, we were right at the moment, guys. Right, Carlos Sainz of Ferrari has overtaken Max Verstappen, right, in the second lap. But Verstappen is coming back against Carlos Sainz, but somehow another Sainz is holding off the fight. Is there a problem from Verstappen? I lost the car really weird. So Verstappen is not feeling his car too well. So this could be an upset, right? This could be an upset for Red Bull, but we'll see. Right? There's still Norris behind Verstappen, and then of course there's Leclerc. And look at Sainz overtaking the Red Bull so easily. That's a surprise, guys. Carlos Sainz is leading for Ferrari, so let's see how that goes now. And Verstappen is saying the car is feeling funny. Maybe the tires and the setup ain't too well for him in Australia, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, he did win last year, right? Australia. Yeah, I think he did. If he didn't, then most probably Perez did, right? But Sainz at the Verstappen now is about half a second behind Sainz. But of course, there is the DRS coming in for this race, right? But okay, Verstappen is complaining that the car is loose. That means his back end is sliding, oversteering. So that means he's not getting enough grip in his rear tires. So Sainz is slowly pulling away from Verstappen. Now the thing is, we come and watch, right? Ferrari, for the past few years, when they have taken the lead, they have always screwed it up during the pit stops and their strategies, right? Let's hope they get it right this time with Sainz in the lead, right? And Sainz is the only F1 driver last season to win the Formula One apart from the Red Bull drivers. So, oh dear. Verstappen has a blown engine. Verstappen has a blown engine. He's going to DNF. My God. Verstappen is out of the race.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, he's got smoke coming out. Unless there's an overflow in the engine oil into the engine. He's still pushing on. Okay. Max Verstappen is out. He's blown his engine.
Oh, I wonder what Red Bull have done to his car.
Oh, Verstappen is out. Unless it's a suspension thing. There's fire. Okay. Okay, guys. F1, right? It's a very weird thing. When the car catches on fire, right? You usually don't see it immediately because it burns with an invisible flame.
They should get him out of the car.
He should put the car to the side and stop and get him out of the car. He's screaming fire, fire, but he's not stopping his car and getting out of the car. I don't know what he's trying to do. He's gone into the pits. This is his first retirement in 43 races, guys. Okay, it's on fire. The right wheel brakes is on fire. Oh,
Is
it's
he
not
getting
an
out
engine
of the
thing.
middle?
Now, I don't think it was an engine issue. I think it was a brake issue, the overheating in the brakes. And that's let it right. The right rear is on fire. It's a brake issue.
I'm scared for his life.
No, he's out of the car. He's back in the pits, so there's no worry. Yeah, he's back in the pits, so there's no worry. So now Carlos Sainz is in the lead. Number 2 is Norris. Leclerc is 3rd. Piastri is 4th. Russell is 5th. Perez is 6th. I don't know. Maybe there's some kind of feeling that Red Bull can't get it too well this race. The heat is there, and it's a hot race, but yeah, and Verstappen is out. He was going for his 10th race in a row, and he's out now. There's big drama here. All right, but there's another 52 more laps to go, and the whole tire is melted. I think it's a brake problem, or it could have been what called the curse problem, right? The energy recovery problem. We do not know whether it's electrical or what, but now Sainz has got about a second, 1.8 second lead over. Let me see, 1.8 second lead over Norris at the moment, right? Leclerc is about 2 seconds behind Sainz, so Leclerc is trying to get past Norris. So let's see how that goes now. So Leclerc is chasing Norris down, while Piastri is chasing Leclerc down, right? The top 4 is actually pulling away with Sainz ahead, pulling ahead, way ahead, right? Lando Norris. And Miss Melina, I'm not sure how confident you guys are in the next coming up, the NLD, right? Because I've always been saying my shows, right? Spurs will be the kingmaker of this season. We play you guys, we play M City, and we play Liverpool. So let's see how that goes. And of course, with Kyle Walker pulling up yesterday for England in M City, most probably if he's still injured, right, it might give you a bit of an advantage coming for the coming up match against M City at the Etihad. If I'm not mistaken, you guys are playing away.
Right? Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I predict a 1-1 or 2-2 draw, right? Because it's going to turn out like a game where Liverpool, right, drew with M City, right, away, right? Yeah, big game for us at the Etihad, right? So Miss Mel, you guys have to pass this hurdle first before you meet us, right? I mean, if you beat M City at the Etihad, right, I tell you deserve to win the title then, right? Because a lot of people say it is. Oh, yeah, pieces. Yeah, breaking away. What's the fire? Well, Verstappen has retired, and it's all up to Ferrari to see whether they can hold on to the lead with Carlos Sainz. Yeah, there was an explosion now because he had to brake coming into. Yeah, I think the heat, right? The heat is playing on. All right, Hamilton is pitting in and putting on the hard tires and going long to test out to see whether this is a good idea, right? Because Hamilton isn't doing too well at the moment. He's dropped back into 14th. Let's see whether he can catch back up with the pack, right? Hamilton is way down at 14, while Russell is up there on 5th. I don't know, right? So maybe with, right? Yeah, Miss Mel, Kane is injured, out for England. I'm not sure whether he'll be coming back for the matches against you guys in the Champions League. I guess maybe that is the plan at the moment. I guess Kane won't be actually getting his first trophy. We're talking about the Bundesliga title, right? He left Spurs 4 trophies for the Bundesliga title. And of course, Kane will be the factor coming up against you guys in the Champions League. Let's see how that goes, right? And of course, for me and
what injury does he have?
Ankle, his normal injury.
Oh, he should be. They play in April, right?
Yep, they play somewhere in April, middle of April, if I'm not mistaken.
He should be back.
Yeah. He should be back by then. But you know, Kane and his famous ankle injuries, right? Which sometimes when he comes back, he's not top of form, right? And Russell has gone into the pits too. Everyone is changing. Stroll is pitting, right? Bottas is pitting. What's happening? That's a weird thing. They're all changing to hard tires from the medium. Is the medium tires degrading so quickly? Can't even make 10 laps of the race. But Sainz is in the lead, right? And what's going on here? Bottas has got a problem with his tires. It's a long pit stop for Bottas, right? It's a hot race in Australia. The heat is causing problems. The sign. Okay. And of course, the Sainz is pulled off about a 2.5 seconds lead. All right. So Verstappen, Sainz is talking to his Sainz has come in for a pit stop. No? Oh, sorry. Leclerc has come in for a pit stop. Everyone is coming in for a pit stop at lap 10 and changing on to the hard tire.
Why is everyone pitting?
No, because the weather is very hot, right? And the tire degradation is very high on the medium tire. So those who are on the back, right, sitting and getting all the wind turbulence and all that. So I guess they decided to make a pit stop early to see whether they can do the long run and maybe come in for a last dab, you know, just before at the end of the race. At the moment now, Sainz is leading with Norris chasing, right, 3.5 seconds behind. Sainz is pulling away because of clear air. So I guess that's what's happening, right? Now the revamp of the grid looks like this. Sainz is 1, Norris 2, Perez 3, Alonso 4, Hulkenberg 5, Gasly 6, Leclerc is joined back in 7, PS3 is on 8, Russell is 9, Stroll is 10, Hamilton is called back up to 11. Oh, Hamilton has a bit of the hard tire. Let's see what's happening with the hard tire at the moment. Some of the drivers are still struggling with the grip on the hard tire. Right, let's see whether the hard tire can last long enough, right, at least to bring them through into the middle of the race. Because if not, this will turn into a three pit stop race or some kind of thing like that. My God. And there's still debris on the track from Verstappen's incident, right? There's some scattered rubbish around. And guys, don't forget, right? Sainz is in the lead, and he's just come back from appendicitis. He had appendicitis about 2 weeks ago, right, or 3 weeks ago. There was this young guy who took over, Bierman. Bierman took over as the reserve driver to race for Sainz in Saudi Arabia, right? So to tell the truth, at the moment, Sainz is doing a fantastic job, right, after appendicitis and driving an F1 car with the G-force coming on him, right? He says that most probably you feel your internal organs moving around. Internal organs moving around, guys. Imagine that, right? And now, I guess Leclerc is chasing after Hulkenberg. Yes, Leclerc has passed Hulkenberg. Leclerc has gone up to 5th, right? So at the moment now, let's see how that goes, right? And now they're saying we are going to plan B. So what's plan B for Ferrari? We will find out sooner or later, right? So let's see how that goes.
I've shared your stream on Twitter, by the way.
Thanks. Thank you, Nippon. Thank you. Right. Let's see how that goes now. Right. All right. Now we're going to see Leclerc. Right. And Leclerc is in 5th. He's chasing after Alonso and Perez because don't forget the top 4 now still haven't pitted yet. Hopefully they'll be pitting soon, and then you will see another shake-up in the grid. Right, there'll be another shake-up in the grid. Right. Maybe guys, I'll be doing more F1 watch-alongs. Right. And not to forget, right, all this is being done in memory of Stephen Featley. Guys, if you do have a couple bucks to spare, please go down to the link. I'm not sure whether I will redo the link again. I'll put it in again for you guys. Right, if you're watching now or maybe watching later, right? Watching now or later, right? Maybe you can just drop a couple of bucks or a couple of pounds to the foundation that Steven supported throughout his paperwork when he was able, right? I usually don't do this, right? But yes, all is for Steven, right? The Child Liver Disease Foundation, right? Children's Liver Disease Foundation, right? Which Steven supports, right? Right. Thank you for your support, right? All this is in memory for Steven. So now let's see. Leclerc is about 8 seconds from Sainz. Oh no, I think more than that.
You'll be watching this from somewhere in heaven.
Yes, he will be. He will be. And of course, you'll be screaming at. Have you ever done a watch along? I'm not sure you're an FN fan. Have you ever done a watch along for F1 with Steven? You know, he'll be always screaming at the screen whenever when Hamilton and Verstappen.
Done a few, yeah. I think Steve was on one of them.
Yeah. And he will be shouting at Hamilton and he'll be shouting at Verstappen most of the time, right? But this season, I'm sorry to say, Stephen, Hamilton is way down at 11. The only closest rival at the moment is actually Russell. And ever since they changed the new setup for the F1 cars, right? Mercedes haven't been performing too well, right? You know, they had their problems going through. We did a few shows and all that when, you know, the cars were, you know, porpoising, you know, jumping up and down like whenever on the straights. So let's see how that goes. But they've more or less rectified that problem. At this moment now, the cars are doing okay, but somehow or another, Mercedes haven't gotten back to their top form that which they showed their dominance before this Red Bull dominance. So let me see now. The medium tire is 14 to 20 laps in the Australian Grand Prix. So I guess Sainz should be coming in soon for his pit stop, right? Sainz should be coming in soon for his pit stop, right? So yeah, and Miss Melina says that I know barely anything about F1. Steven tried to teach me some stuff. Yeah, I know. To tell the truth, I don't know much about F1. I'm not so much into the technical stuff. I do enjoy the races. I was an F1 fan for a very, very long time. To tell the truth, one of my, I think when I was very young, one of my ambitions, I wanted to be an F1 driver, right? Because that's how I became a Spurs fan too, because I did start my early elementary school life in London while my father read law in London. So that's how I caught on to the football. At the time, it wasn't called the Premier League yet. It was called Division 1. I'm not sure a lot of you guys will remember when it was called Division 1. I'm not sure whether Nippon will remember Division 1, right? I remember Division 1.
I was born during the Premier League era. That was before my time. I was born in 93.
Oh, you born in 93, yeah. Premier League started in 92. Yeah. So that's how it goes, right? So, but I was always an F1 fan. My dream was to be an F1 driver when you were young, you know, especially you want to be an astronaut, you want to be an F1 driver, you want to be a professional football player. Those was one of my dreams, but never made it there. I turned into more or less an F&B guy after that, right? So it is what it is. It's life. But that's why I still follow Formula One. Those were the days when Formula Ones had their terrible crashes and all that. That was more the attraction, right? You just sit there to watch the Formula One crashes. That was the big thing. At the moment now, I guess, if I'm not mistaken, right, if Sainz comes in now, he will be about 22 seconds ahead of Leclerc. It will be a tight pit stop for Sainz. If not, Leclerc will jump him in the pit stop. But Leclerc has done an early pit stop, so that will give Sainz a longer run in the long run, right? So let's see how that goes.
You work in a restaurant, don't you?
Yeah, I'm in the F&B line. Yeah. And at the moment now, I'm jobless, guys. So if anyone needs an operation or a general manager for running restaurants operations, please give me a look up, right? So I'll send you out the resume, right? And I don't come cheap.
Have you ever worked for a hotel?
Yeah. I'm sorry, what is it?
Have you ever worked for a hotel?
Honestly, no. I've always done private, right? Not for hotel. I didn't come out through the hotelier line. I came through the Chinese restaurant line. And I never did an F&B course. What I've done is all through experience, right, of actually running a restaurant.
You could run a you could run a restaurant in the UK.
Yeah, but the thing is that I'm already an old man, right? Who in the UK will want to employ me, right?
I know how young you are, and you're not old.
Hold on. Okay, Lewis Hamilton has engine failure. The cars are dropping off like flies. I think the heat is giving the cars problem. There's an engine failure for Lewis Hamilton. And now Alonso leads the Grand Prix, right? And Lewis is trying to park the car at the proper spot where it will not put the race into a red flag scenario, right? Let's see whether a safety car is coming out. If a safety car comes out, right, it will benefit Alonso in the tire change. But the thing is that Sainz is already... Okay, virtual safety car has been deployed. The virtual safety car has been deployed. So the race has been neutralized. So let's see whether Alonso will be able to make a cheap pit stop here, right? And that's Lewis Hamilton loses his engine power, and that's over. Yeah. And now the marshals are pushing in Hamilton's car into the barrier side. So I guess the virtual safety car will be ending soon. Alonso is coming in for a cheap pit stop.
Wait, why are there virtual safety cars and not physical?
Okay. The thing is that the virtual safety car, right? So before the virtual safety car was introduced, right? I can't remember, maybe 5 or 10 years ago, right? Whenever there was a problem, the safety car used to come out, and the safety car would actually, Miss Mel, Hamilton is out too. Sorry to say, yeah. The virtual safety car was introduced because whenever small incidents like this, right, they needed the safety car to come out to slow the cars down. So once you slow the cars down, right, the drivers were complaining the safety car wasn't fast enough, and it will cause overheating problems for the cars and all that, right? And the tires will cool down, so there were a lot of complaints by the the drivers, because under the safety car, there's if I'm not mistaken, there's a 90 or 80 km speed limit, or was it 120 km speed limiting? So, and that made the drivers uncomfortable. So when the virtual safety car thing was brought in, the drivers were still being able to maintain a higher speed under the virtual safety car, not as high as a racing speed, but not as low during the actual safety car. So now, I guess, who is leading now? Okay, Piastri has undercut Norris. All right. So that's why they introduced the virtual safety car. So once they take away the virtual safety car, the race just automatically starts off again. See, because if you had the actual safety car, the cars would be lining up behind the safety car. Then you had to wait for the safety car to disappear. before you can actually start your race again. So the cars are heating up like crazy because the brake pads are very, very hot in this race. The weather is hot, the tarmac is hot, right? And I think the brake pads are overheating like crazy. And Leclerc now is about 1 second behind Sainz. So let's see now. It's a Ferrari 1-2, right? With Sainz and Leclerc. Piastri is third, Norris is fourth.
Norris is third.
Piastri is third. Piastri is third at the moment. Right. Piastri is third. But Sainz seems to be pulling away from Leclerc again. So if there's no unless there's some kind
this Pierre guy,
Piastri.
Gasly, is he Swiss?
Pierre Gasly is French.
Oh,
yeah. Piastri is Australian.
Who?
The guy in third at the moment, right? Piastri, he's Australian.
Sounds Italian.
Yeah, I guess he's from it. I think he's Italian descent. You know, guy, Nippon. There are a lot of Europeans in Australia. Greeks. Don't forget, Ange is Greek, and he's Australian.
Oh yeah, he's Greek.
Yeah. Ange is Greek. Yeah, Piastri is Italian, right? But they're all Australians, right?
A bit like Giorgini. He's Italian, but he's Brazilian.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. He's Brazilian, if I'm not mistaken, but he plays for Italy.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. He's Brazilian, but yeah, it's the same thing. There's some Portuguese players, Brazilian Portuguese players. Anyway, this called nationalization of players and all that, or descendant, from either your grandparents.
Even England have some. Like Declan Rice is Irish, but he plays for England.
Yeah. Is it Welsh or Irish?
Irish.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. England lost 1-0 to Brazil. Yeah. Did you watch that match?
I didn't watch that match. I was working.
Okay. Right. I did watch it, and I was doing the second half watch along with Mani. Yeah. The first half was a bit more exciting, right? England did show some sort of attacking prowess and all that, but it was a bit hard and heavy in the first half. Second half, it petered off, right? I thought the goal was offside, but somehow another Declan Rice's leg was still stuck out that played Vinicius Jr. on, right? And Endrick, a 17-year-old Endrick scores that goal. I don't know. Will Endrick become the next Pelé? Right? Because Brazil needs a player like him to bring the team up again. So let's see what happens.
They already have one, Vinicius.
Yeah, but I think
Rodrigo as well.
Yeah, they've got Rodrigo and Vinicius, but Brazil did look quite impressive, I can say.
Rodrigo has been linked with Woolwich.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
I don't know. If they don't win the Premier League this year, they might have to throw another £100 million at another player. So at least they are throwing £100 million at players and getting the results, right? Better than being a Spurs fan. And don't talk about you. Nippon. Don't talk about you guys, right?
Well,
you got Poch.
We're both going to end up with the same amount of trophies this season, you and me.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Hey, but wait. Oh, you're not in the semi-finals of the.
We are.
You're playing Man City. Oh, I'm sorry.
We're not beating Man City.
I know we faced M City in the FA Cup in the third round. So
come on, you are Man City's bogey team usually, though.
but we lost 1-0 to M-City at home, right, in the FA Cup, in the third round, right? Well, M-City practically bossed us out of the field, even though the scoreline was flattering to us, 1-0, right? Oh, sorry, guys. Right. Sorry, guys. The cough, right? Yeah. But okay, back to the race. Sainz has got more or less a 2-second lead over Leclerc, right? Piastri is behind Leclerc. Norris is behind Piastri. Alonso is in 5th. Perez is in 6th. Russell is in 7th. Stroll is in 8th. Tsunoda is in 9th. Albon has climbed up to 10th in the Williams, right? I'm sorry, guys. I have to support the only Southeast Asian driver, right, in Formula One, right? And that's Alexander Albon, right, from Thai descent, right? He's part of that Red Bull scenario because the majority of the F1 shareholders, the majority shareholder of the Red Bull F1 team is actually a Thai guy, right? And he's part of the Red Bull, the energy drink consortium. So let's see how that goes. At the moment, right, Ferrari look dominant, holding off properly, right? So at the moment now, it doesn't seem to be, how would you say, any sort of controversy or excitement coming on, right? Engine failure for Hamilton. Max Verstappen, we are not sure whether was it a brake failure, right, or was it a curse failure that caused the fire. So let's see how that goes, right?
So when are you coming to London?
Oh, I'm not sure yet, Nippon, right? I will plan one trip, right? I have to plan one trip before I pass on. Let's see how that goes. At the moment now, it's not too viable for us, Nippon, because of our stupid currency exchange rate is crazy. The ringgit is so weak at the moment.
What's the pound to ringgit conversion rate?
1 to 6.
So £1 is 6 ringgit.
Yep. £1 is 6 ringgit.
The rate is even weaker.
Yeah, I mean the pound used to be stronger, right? But we are overall weak, right? The plane ticket will cost me
much weaker right now. £1
yeah.
would give you like 95 Indian rupees.
Yeah. Yeah. But the pound against the rupee, that means the rupee is a bit stronger. So, but the pound against the Malaysian ringgit, we ain't doing too well. The plane ticket will cost me something about 1,000 quid, right?
What? Look,
yeah,
the pound to Indian rupee rate is 105 rupees.
Yeah, it runs up and down around there, right? But I'm saying the pound, I mean, the plane ticket will cost me about 1,000 quid, right? So if you spend
or business class.
I can't afford to fly business class, right? So that'll be just
£1,000 for a standard ticket. That's outrageous.
Yeah. It ranges from about 800 to £1,000 for standard ticket. Yeah. Miss Melina says that, not good at all too. Yeah, but you guys got the American dollar supporting you.
What ticket are you looking at?
I will usually take Malaysia Airlines.
Yeah, I know Malaysian.
Yeah. I usually take Malaysia Airlines, right? But it depends, right? Because Malaysia Airlines flies direct to Heathrow or Gatwick, if I'm not mistaken nowadays. It depends where, right? And then there's no transit anywhere. But the thing is that
you can probably get it cheaper if you stop over somewhere, no?
Yeah. But the ticket is not a problem. I mean, you spend about 1,000 quid. But the problem is that when you land in London, right, you have to eat, you have to stay, right? You have to do so many things, right? That is the killer part. You have most probably spend another £2,000 or £3,000 just to be there for a week.
You You have friends in London, don't you? You can share.
Yeah. I mean, yes, of course I have friends, but the problem is that if I go to London, right, Nippon, I can't go there alone, right? Am I going to leave my wife behind?
Oh, of course, you want to take your wife with you.
Yeah. Unless there's something else going on, then I'll leave her alone, right?
You have children?
uh, yeah, I have kids too. So am I going to leave my kids behind? So sometimes it all plays in the plan, right?
Any grandkids?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Let's see how that goes, right? Nowadays, I think
Sorry if
bringing.
I'm asking you a lot of family.
No, it's okay, Nippon. It's okay, no problem. We've known each other for about 3 years now, so yeah, we've known each other long enough. No grandkids, but let's see how that goes. I nearly had a grandkid about pre-COVID time, but there was a miscarriage. So yeah, and then now my daughter, who was married at the time, she's actually divorced her husband and blah blah blah. So let's see how that goes. I'm not too worried whether to have grandkids or not to have grandkids. I mean,
well,
like I said,
it's all in God's hands.
That's like I said, yeah, it's all fated. Allah will arrange it to have or not to have. But at the moment now, let's see how that goes. Perez overtakes Alonso to go into 5th. Right? So Perez has the engine power.
Yeah. Well, for me,
Nippon, to tell the truth, right? It will be nicer. I mean, since you have the pound, right, for you to come over to Malaysia when you come into Kuala Lumpur, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe 2-3 years time.
Yeah, come over to Kuala Lumpur.
I have to take North America off my bucket list too.
Ah, all right.
I can probably go there and see Brian, Bobby, Miss Melina.
Yeah, that is Brian and Bobby K, they're in Toronto. I'm not sure where Miss Melina is in. Is she in Toronto too? Or Vancouver? Yeah, Miss Mel, you gotta let me know where you at in Canada. Whether it's Toronto, Vancouver, right now. But to tell the truth, right, if I do go to London alone, my accommodation wouldn't be a hassle, right? Food won't be too much of a hassle too, right? The Spurs ticket won't be too much of a hassle. But the thing is that if I do travel alone to London, right, it wouldn't sit too well with my missus and my children. So yeah, imagine if I have to lug them all along, right? I most probably have to spend some sort of 3 years wages just to bring them along there, or maybe not 3 years wages, maybe 1.5 years wages just to bring them to London, the whole family. Yeah,
a lifetime.
Yeah, it's not to say I've never been to London. Yeah, I've been to London when I was young. I stayed in London for about 3 years when I was younger. Did do a few trips back and forth when I was younger, right? But never have traveled much after when I'm older. But don't worry, plans are there to travel. Plans are there to travel, right? Yeah, I don't. Unless you've got room for me and my wife to come over to London, I'll make a plan for that.
Well, we do have a few spare rooms in our house.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a problem, right? And I most probably stay a few days in your place. I'll stay a few days in a couple other Spurs fans' place, right? I mean, if I'm going to go to London, I want to spend at least 2 weeks there. You understand, right? I do have relatives. If I'm not mistaken, I do have relatives in London too. I've got a cousin who's working in as a doctor in London with his wife, right? And I have a cousin who lives in York, right, further north. So yeah, so accommodations wouldn't be too much of a problem, right? The Spurs ticket won't be too much of a problem at the moment. You're just looking at tickets and of course time, right? Let's see time, because I'm trying to get back into the workforce. So once you know me, Nippon, once I start work, right, it's going to be crazy for me, right?
Oh, it's so crazy in the hospitality industry.
Yeah, in the F&B or in the hospitality industry.
Right near Wembley Stadium.
Sorry?
So I work right near Wembley Stadium.
Oh, all right. You're still at Hilton, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah. Oh, unless you can pull some strings for me to join you in Hilton, then that'll be a good thing. Yeah.
Well, if you're a member of the frequent stayer program.
Oh no, I'm saying working in Hilton, not staying in Hilton. Yeah.
Oh, working.
Yeah.
We're always recruiting.
Yeah. But they ain't gonna recruit a 55-year-old guy, right? Yeah, who wants to be more or less a general manager of a place.
Oh,
I know.
experience. They care more about experience than age.
Yeah. I've experienced. Yeah. I don't mind even being just a busboy, right? So if I make £2,000 in London, right, it's 12,000 ringgit in Malaysia. Imagine that.
Of course.
Yeah. But of course, you have to pay the expenses in London, right? The lodging, however you're going to live and all that. Unless, if I go over as an expatriate executive where my room is provided by the hotel and all that, then of course, it wouldn't be a problem. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure at least a restaurant manager in Hilton gets at least 3,000 to 4,000 quid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think around that much.
Yeah. How much do you get?
I'll tell you in the private chat.
Yeah, you tell me in the private chats, right? Yeah. And I'm sure your chef gets a 5-figure amount, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm just saying, just your normal outlet chef, and then if you're talking about the executive head chef, most probably there'll be somewhere in the 5-figure amount in the mid-range and all that. So yeah, mid-range 5-figure amount. So yeah, a high-range 5-figure amount, you're talking about maybe the CEO of the hotel or the general manager, right? I know the hotels usually have a lot of hierarchy, so see which level you're at, right? If you're at level 1, level 2, I guess you get a lot of good benefits for hotels, right? I'm not sure whether that does that leveling kind of thing still happens in the hotel industry for you guys in the UK. Okay, Nippon is giving a private chat. All right. You still calculated in per hour, Nippon? Yeah, you're muted, Nippon. Can't hear you, Nippon. You're muted, Nippon. Oh, Nippon has dropped off. Let's see he'll hop back on again. All right. All right, guys. Sainz has got an 8-second advantage over Leclerc, right? And Norris is 2 seconds behind Leclerc, with Piastri 2 seconds behind Norris.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I'm saying, Nippon, you guys are still being paid by the hour.
Yeah, the lower downs. Like I'm not.
All right. So that means that.
Yet.
Okay. No, because I was asking because I mean in the hotel, do you guys over there, right? Your hotel, there's that hierarchy levels, right? If you're like level 1, level 2 staff, your upper management, right? Then it goes down level 3, level 4, your mid-man.
The kitchen have a hierarchy system.
Okay.
For example, we have the apprentice.
Yeah.
We have the line chefs. We have the senior line chefs. We have the sous chefs, and then the senior sous chef, and then the head chef.
Yeah. And on top of your head chef, you have your executive head chef, right?
He's the executive chef.
Oh, it means your chef is the executive chef, yeah.
The same thing.
Because I'm sure you have outlet chefs too, right?
Outlet? No, we have
How
one
many,
chef
okay,
for the whole, for all
no, how many
three.
restaurants do you have? How many restaurants do you have in Hilton?
We have
You have the
we have
coffee house
two bars. We have 2 bars and 1 restaurant.
in the whole Hilton.
Yes.
You see, I give you an example, right? In Malaysia, it's a weird thing. In a 5-star or a 6-star or 7-star hotel, depending on how many restaurants you have. Usually in a Malaysian restaurant, you have a Japanese restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, and you will have your coffee house, right? So that's more or less the standard kind of thing that you have in a 5-star hotel, right? But sometimes the Japanese restaurant is an option, but usually the Chinese restaurant and the Japanese restaurant, they overlap. It depends, you see. So you will have a chef for each restaurant on its own, right? And of course, the executive head chef that looks after all the other chefs.
That's we don't have we have an executive chef. We don't have a head chef.
Yeah, because you don't have other restaurants, right? You don't have a Chinese restaurant in your Hilton, right?
All our restaurants are multi cuisines. We have like a few dishes from the States. We have a few local dishes.
No, that for us that will be called the coffee house restaurant. The restaurant which does all the buffet, right? Your breakfast buffet and all that. Not specialty restaurants. In Malaysia, you will have your own specialty restaurants.
We don't have it. We have specialty restaurants in the UK, but not in my hotel.
Yeah, I mean, some hotels will have it, some hotels won't have it. Yeah. Okay, Leclerc has pitted second time round. I'm not sure what tire has gone into. Leclerc has come out. Is he gone back to another hard? Okay, Leclerc joins in ahead of Perez and Alonso. Leclerc has got hard tires on again, so he's gone into another hard tire. Yeah. Okay. So now PS3 has gone ahead of Leclerc because maybe PS3 haven't pitted his second pit stop yet. Norris has overtaken PS3, right? Sainz is about 10 seconds ahead of Norris. Okay, I guess this race is in Sainz's pocket. So let's see how that goes, right? We are in lap 36 at the moment, out of lap 58. So there's another 22 more laps to go, right? Let's see how that goes too. Whether the weather will wear into the driver's tires and the engine levels, whether they will be causing overheating issues and all that. But Ferrari is leading now, right? Now Perez is pitting. Yeah, Perez is pitting now. All right, guys, thanks for being here, right? This show is in memory of Stephen Featley. I used to do F1 shows with him, right? He's more technical than I am. I'm just a guy who just reads the commentary, just say some commentary and all that, and usually not so technical, right? But it's all in honor of him, right? And of course, don't forget, right, the child liver disease, right? If you do have a couple bucks extra or pounds extra, throw it in, right? It's for a good cause, right, guys? Thanks for your support. Thanks for your time. Whether you're watching now or watching later as a recorded version, hopefully you have a good day, good evening, and a good night, right? Wherever you are in the world.
Fun.
Yeah, you're going off to sleep?
Oh, I thought you were ending the stream.
No, I'm not ending the stream. The race isn't over yet. It's a watch along.
All the things.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying because I'm saying
When you next
so,
stream.
okay, I forgot to ask you, right? So that means for your level, you're still being paid by the hour, right? So when will you be like paid an actual salary?
Whenever I'm a.
Which level you're gonna reach to?
I'm currently a demi CDP. I'm currently a demi chef de partie.
Okay.
So so after that comes senior line chef,
Ah, all right.
and then I can even think about going into like a supervisory role,
All right.
like a
Yeah.
sous chef.
Fair, fair. No, but I'm saying, but you still get paid weekly?
No, monthly.
Oh, monthly. All right. Yeah. Because if I'm not mistaken, right? There are some jobs in the UK. You guys get paid weekly, right?
Some.
Okay. All right. So that means the amount of hours you work, you get paid the amount. Do you get overtime then?
Yeah, you
Okay.
don't get, but if you're a supervisor, you don't get paid overtime.
Yeah. When you reach
Because
in the hotel line, yeah, when you reach a different level, you don't get overtime. Yeah, I understand that.
that's why some people never wish to be supervisors.
Mhm. Now, depending on how high you want to climb, right? Right, and how much actually the amount of hours you put in. Yeah. All right, guys. Science is leading 9 seconds ahead of Norris. Okay, Norris has cut back a bit of time. Right. Piastri is third. Leclerc is fourth. So I guess they still haven't come in for their pit stop because Leclerc is on the hard tires. I guess that will most probably last him until end of the race, hopefully. Right. That means Piastri and Norris will have fresher tires at the end of the race. So let's see how that goes on that too.
So you don't have any streams coming up?
I'm not sure yet. Because international break. But most probably I'll be doing one next week, closer to the end of the week, when we will have to face Luton Town at home. While everyone is saying, "Oh, Luton is a strong team," blah blah blah, and all that. Let's see how that goes. Right? We've had 2 weeks rest from the international break. My fear is, whether international break will break us because yesterday Richarlison didn't play, Madison didn't play. Maybe that's a blessing in disguise, right? Right. How many players did you have on the field yesterday in the England team?
I think we had Conor Gallagher and Ben Chilwell.
Yeah, yeah. Conor Gallagher was sub I think quite early in the second half, or was it midway in the second half? Yeah, Chilwell I think played to about the 80th of a minute. So let's see how that goes. But we do have other players playing overseas.
About that fraud in a waistcoat, the better.
Yeah, yeah. And don't forget, what about the players overseas, right? We've got Porro playing for Spain. We've got Son playing for South Korea, right? If I'm not mistaken, Decky is playing for Sweden. Yeah.
Decky for Sweden, Destiny for Italy.
Yeah, Destiny for
Vicario,
Italy.
Italy.
Yeah, Vicario for Italy. But I'm not sure whether Vicario played or not as a goalkeeper.
We also have a player for the Italy squad as well. Cesare Casadi.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, and Raya. Did you get Raya? No. Raya's Arsenal. Raya played for Spain too. Yeah.
Raya, well, we have Sanchez, basically.
You got Sanchez. Raya went to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So annoying that they're so good.
Yeah. But it's taken them, ever since the new stadium has been built, right? It's taken them how many years? 15 years
Mm-hmm.
to reach this level. So being a Spurs fan, right, we just built a new stadium, right? So I gotta wait another bloody 15 years to reach that level. I don't even think we'll reach that level in 15 years, right? While being the how deluded our fan base can be, right? Once we play
you know who's more deluded than your fans? Your own.
No. Oh, of course. You know I'm leaving out. Of course, I know how deluded my owner is, right? And don't forget, right? 50, 70% of that 86% ownership of Tottenham Hotspur is sitting in jail now.
Joe Lewis is in jail.
Nah, he's not in jail, right? But there's a prospect of him being in jail. That old geezer, right? Yeah, he's under house arrest or some shit. Right? He can't. His passport has been held back or something like that. So
yeah, he's a shady.
Yeah, all billionaires are shady, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's no way you can become.
Show me a clean billionaire, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, if you show me a clean billionaire, I'll say it's inherited, right?
Yeah, you can't be a clean billionaire unless it's inherited.
Yeah, and most probably after you inherit it, you ain't clean anymore.
It depends.
You still have to compromise your morals, right?
Nah. Look, if I ever inherit that amount of money, I'm keeping my morals.
But the problem is that imagine, right? If your family is doing arm dealing, right, manufacturing arms and all that, right, and then all of a sudden you inherit all that, are you going to say that okay, I'm going to be who was the guy, Iron Man, right? I'm going to stop making weapons. Yeah, is that going to happen?
I don't make weapons anyway.
No, I'm saying in a scenario, if you inherited money in that sense, right? Are you going to say that I'm going to cash out my company and become a clean billionaire and not get involved in that business anymore?
No. I'm saying if like I'm not involved in a company and like I inherit £1 billion, just like
no. The thing is that how you inherit £1 billion, Nippon, you can't inherit £1 billion cash. Nobody's going to give you an inheritance of £1 billion cash. You get what I'm saying? If let's say you inherit $1 billion, you become a billionaire through inheritance. That means you have to take over a business. You get what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah, I'll try it in the cleanest
way. Unless Elon Musk writes him in your will, and when I die, please give Nippon Sharma £1 billion cash, and let him do as he will. Then it's a different thing, right?
Well, if Elon Musk gives me £1 billion, in cash, or my electronic bank account, the first thing I'm doing is, well, quite a lot actually.
Yeah, we all have our pipe dreams, right? All right, guys, the lineup. The grid has changed again. Sainz is still ahead. Leclerc has caught up to second because I guess of the pit stops being done by Norris and Piastri. Norris leads Piastri ahead, and behind is Russell, Perez, Alonso, Stroll, Sonoda, and Hulkenberg. Albon has dropped back down into 11. Let's see whether Albon can get into the points, guys. Let's see whether Albon can get into the points. We are into lap 43 now. There's 15 more laps to go, or 44. Yep, 15 more laps to go. Right before the game, before the race ends. Right, it's looking comfortable for the Ferrari cars at the moment. The only thing is that will there be a push by the McLarens to set up a challenge against Leclerc, right, for that second spot? So let's see whether that happens or not, right? So let's see how all that happens or not, right? If I get £1 billion, right, it'll be 6 billion ringgit. Imagine that. That's crazy. Imagine all the good you can do with that money. But the thing is that sometimes I believe, right, Nippon, money actually will change your character. That's the sad thing. A lot of people say, no, once I get this, I won't be different. I'll be the same, but blah, blah, blah. But once you do get that kind of money, unless you give it all away, right, it will change your character to a certain degree.
Warren Buffett?
What about Warren Buffett? He wasn't a good man.
What did he do that was wrong?
Right. I don't know. Warren Buffett. Let me think about Warren Buffett. He was old, money, right? Ponzi scheme. If I'm not mistaken, Ponzi schemes, right? Most of all these billionaires are actually Ponzi schemes runners, right? So just as long you don't get caught out, there's no problem, right? Once you get caught out, you've been found out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Magnussen overtakes Albon, right?
Right. It's 5 a.m. in London.
Yes.
So whenever you're next live, just let me know. I'm actually gonna go to sleep now.
Yeah, okay, Nippon. Have a good night, sleep, right? Since you're not working tomorrow.
Can I call out my socials before I duck, or would you?
Yeah. What shows are you coming up with? I think you got a show today, right?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
okay,
20.
At what time?
7:30.
UK time?
UK time.
All right, Nippon's gonna show.
You'll probably be awake to do your fajr, right?
Yeah. 7:30 UK time. That will be about 3:30 a.m. Yeah. Nowadays, more or less, I'm awake, right? Because I'm not working. I will usually stay awake until 4 a.m. my time. That's about, let's say, 8 p.m. your time, if I'm not mistaken, right? 8 p.m. your time until I do my fajr, yeah.
Yeah, because that's the first one, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, any more shows you're doing, right? Most probably, okay, Nippon, I'm not sure about your off days, right? Once that Chelsea game, right, has been confirmed, we'll do a preview for that.
Sure.
Either on your channel or my channel, you let me know, right?
On my channel, it'll be like a 6-panel show, so 3 Spurs, 3 Chelsea.
Yeah. And if it's on my show, usually it'll be like 5 Spurs fans and you.
Look, I like being an equal guy, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, let's see, because your timing and my timing are really 8 hours to 7 hours apart. So that's why usually I'll catch you on your off days to do that show, right? And let's see if you're doing your show, if I'm available, I'll hop on. All right.
Fair enough.
All right. Thanks for being on, Nippon. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your time. And don't forget, right? Show Steven some love. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Rest in paradise, Steve. You were a really nice guy. Until we meet again. See you soon. And go subscribe to my YouTube, NSTV, my other YouTube, The British Lifestyle Blogger, where I do everything other than football.
So the one that you did your vlogs to India and all that, right?
That could be my plane reviews. That could be restaurant reviews. So basically, my whole lifestyle. Basically, I'm going to shout out another vlogger who does a lot of luxury lifestyle vlogging, Trek Trendy. I don't know if you know.
No, I never follow that. I don't know. I've been thinking of maybe I want to set up a food review YouTube show. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. So Malaysian food, right?
And you can follow me on my 2 Instagrams, N with 4 I's and 3 U's. And then you can also follow me on Nippon Reviews Lifestyle. And you can follow me on Twitter, the best place to get hold of me for any shows and collaborations. And yeah, with that being said, I shall see you later.
All right. Take care, Nippon. Thanks for being on. Right. Thanks for your support. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
All right, guys, back to the race. Thanks to Nippon for being here, supporting me for at least 1.5 hours. He said he'll be coming on for about half an hour, but he extended his time over an hour. Thank you, Nippon. Thanks for the support. Right. Back to the race, right, guys? Sainz is in the lead, 5 seconds, nearly 5.5 seconds ahead of Leclerc, right? Norris is behind. Now the thing is that we see whether Norris and Piastri will be able to catch up to Leclerc, but they're about 3 seconds and 9 seconds behind Leclerc, right? And at the moment now, of course, Perez, surprisingly, Red Bull doing too well in Australia, right? And of course, Alonso is 6, Russell 7, and not to forget, we lost Lewis Hamilton, right? And Gasly has been given a penalty. I'm not sure what's for. He's got 5-second penalty. Maybe it's for infraction, right? Stewart's looking into a 5-second penalty for car number 10. Gasly failing to follow race directions in the pit stop. That is Gasly's penalty, guys, right? Right. And of course, Russell is chasing after Alonso now. Let's see whether the Mercedes can overtake the Aston Martin, right? And of course, now Tsunoda is 9, Hülkenberg is 10, Magnussen is 11, Albon has dropped down to 12 in the Williams. I only see one Williams car. That's weird. Okay, Williams has only got one car in the thing. Let's see where the other car is. All I know is Hamilton is out, Verstappen is out. Zhou Guan Yu is there. Why is William running on one car? Okay, it is what it is, right? At the moment in time, we are in the 49th lap, going to 50th lap. There are 8 more laps to go, right, for Sainz to lift this Australian GP title. And let's see how we go now. Norris is setting up the fastest lap. The fastest lap will get you extra 1 more point, right? If Sainz win this GP, right, it will cut into Verstappen's lead in the championships standing after 3 races. But we will have to see, because Sainz didn't actually race in the Saudi Arabia, right? And Gasly cut out in the yellow line. No wonder he moved into the out of the yellow line. That will be considered dangerous driving coming out of the pit stop, right? At the moment now, we see Norris trying to catch up to Leclerc, right? Will the tires play into this scenario now? We are looking at the tire degradation. Will the tire degradation play into this scenario? Will Norris, having fresher tires, being able to catch up to Leclerc? And of course, I'm not even sure did Sainz do his second pit stop, but I'm sure he did, because Leclerc is about 4 seconds behind him now. Right? And George Russell is picking up his speed. He's trying to catch up to Alonso, right? And let's see how that goes there. There are little battles in between each other now, fighting for spaces on the grid, right? And the points while we go through this, all right? Yeah, let me try that, yeah. Don't forget, guys, in memory of Stephen Featley, please donate to the child liver disease, right? The link is in the chat, right? If you guys see it, please drop it a couple pounds. If you're able, no pressure there. If you can't, just say a prayer, right, for the children, right, for the children in the world who are having problems, right? All right, now Leclerc is, I don't think he's going to give Sainz any challenge. Yeah. Sainz is 5 seconds ahead of Leclerc. Leclerc is 4 seconds ahead of Norris. Norris is 10 seconds ahead of Piastri. And of course, go further back, Piastri is 11 seconds ahead of Perez. I think that's how it goes, right? Okay. This is a good dominance by Ferrari, right? But sorry to say, but the weird thing is that Perez ain't even putting up a challenge. So if Perez was putting up a challenge, then we more or less know that the car is good enough for the Red Bull to go ahead. But maybe because of what Verstappen did during qualifying, maybe he pushed his car too far ahead. And of course, what happens is that, right, mechanical issues will appear. And Verstappen getting his first DNF, not only this season, his first DNF in 43 races, if I'm not mistaken. So that will be a site for the Red Bull to look into, right, to see what they can do, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, the next race will be moving back to Europe, right? And that will be in 2 weeks' time. Let me check. When is the next race coming up? When is the next race coming up? Right. Let's see how things are going. When is the next race? Next race in Formula One is coming up. It's a medium hard race. So 2 pit stops, 3 pit stops. Yeah. Calendar. The next race will be in. No, it's still in Asia. The next race will be in Suzuka in a week's time or so, if I'm not mistaken. Right, or 2 weeks' time. 5th of April in Suzuka, Japan. Right, and after that, it goes to the Chinese Grand Prix, right, in Shanghai after 2 weeks from that. So more or less, April, it'll be still all Asia, right? Right. Most, I think, settling all the Asian races this season in the F1, right? Until most probably come back again to Abu Dhabi for the last race, or penultimate race in the Middle East, right? Let's move from the Middle East to Asia, and it will still be going on there. But let's see how the weather holds up in Japan and China while the races is going on. It's been a very hot race here in Australia, right? And Carlos Sainz is heading on for his first win without starting in the pole position, right? And at this moment in time, we are in lap 54. Lap 54, guys. We've got another 4 more laps to go before the race ends. Let's see what's happening, but more or less everything is ironed out itself now. Everything is stabled out. There's not much action going on apart from Russell chasing after Fernando Alonso. But Fernando Alonso is being able to hold Russell back. Whether the DRS will give Russell a chance to overtake Alonso. But there's, of course, rumors saying that Alonso will be taking the empty spot that Hamilton has let go to Ferrari. So Alonso and Russell maybe next season being in the Mercedes, and let's see maybe if the Mercedes gives a competitive car to Alonso, will he put up a fight for at least some titles, right? Some Grand Prix titles. Right. So can Russell get into Alonso's back? Yeah. But at the moment now, Alonso is able to hold off Russell's attacks, right? But let's see now we're coming down to the straight, and that will give Alonso some DRS advantage, but maybe not enough, right? Does he have enough? Is the straight long enough? No, not long enough, right? Russell is still behind Alonso. Yeah. At this moment, 3 more laps to go, guys. 3 more laps to go. Sainz is in the lead. This is going to be a Ferrari 1-2 in a long, long time. Ferrari hasn't had a 1-2 in a long, long time. So maybe this is showing this season that hopefully this is just not a one-off, right? There'll be more excitement to come from this season's contest for the championship, right? And we do know that Red Bull's dominance can be broken, especially today. We've seen that Perez isn't too strong. All right. All right. Norris is catching up, chasing up to Leclerc now. Norris is about 3 seconds behind Leclerc, right? While Alonso is still under 1 second. Russell is still under 1 second behind Alonso, where Alonso is being able to hold off Russell. Alonso is the wily old fox of Formula One. He will pull out all the magical movements that he can to prevent Russell overtaking him. Now, Leclerc has gotten the fastest lap, right? That will give him extra 1 point, right, for having the fastest lap, right? And somehow or another, I think Sainz is nursing down his engines and the tires, cruising into the finish line, because Leclerc has caught back up to about 3.5 seconds, right, to Sainz. And of course, all right, Sainz is complaining about tires problems. The tires don't feel great. He's having some issues, but maybe why Sainz is actually slowing down is because he's going through the back markers, right? The one that was surprised all of a sudden from 5 seconds dropping down to 3 seconds. All right. All right. So it is the final lap. Oh, Russell has crashed. And this will be yellow flag, red flag, and the two Mercedes is out. And this race finishes on a virtual safety car. My God, Sainz most probably rode his luck, right? Sainz has rode his luck. Okay, Russell's okay. Let me see what happened here now. Mercedes crashes out. Yeah. Carlos Sainz will win the Australian Grand Prix. There was a last lap crash by Russell. Russell chasing after Alonso. Let us get the replay because it wasn't shown right in the last minute. Let's see what happened to Russell's car. All right, Ferrari gets their 1-2. Ferrari 1-2 in Australia. And it's a victory for Carlos Sainz. Right. Carlos Sainz takes the first spot. Leclerc gets second, but he gets the fastest lap. He gets an extra point. Norris is third. right? And Piastri, Australian boy, comes in 4th. So that will be a proud, good race for Piastri. And how the hell did this car land on his side? That's a weird kind of. How did he end up in the side? What the hell did he knock to end up in the side? Why aren't they showing the replay of the accident? Let me see. Okay, George Russell comes in the corner. He takes the corner. What does he hit here? Oh. Oh, the wheel tips the car on its side. There was a twitch there, so that means a tire. All right, guys. The race is over. Ferrari 1-2, McLaren 3-4. Right? It was the last lap drama while Russell lost control of his car and tipped over to the side. Right? So that's a good win for Ferrari. But guys, this stream is done in memory of for Stephen, right? For his charity and all that. If you guys, right, please give a like and subscribe to my channel. If not, please give a like and subscribe to Stephen's channel. And of course, his channel is still up there. It's still running, right? I was surprised that day I got a short, what called YouTube shorts, the short videos that Stephen did, right? All of a sudden came out on my notification. So maybe that's a sign. So, Stephen, hope you're well up there, right? Hope everything is good. And of course, I'm sorry to say Hamilton ain't doing too well this past 2 seasons for Formula One, but right, Hamilton is moving to Ferrari next season. But guys, thanks for being on. Thanks for support. If you're watching later, right, please give a like and subscribe to my channel, to Miss Melina's channel, to Nippon's channel, right? And of course, not to forget, right? Let me put up Miss Melina, right? We have got Scott M, right? Big up to Scotty, right? And of course, who else do we have? Nippon's, right? NS Sport channel, right? Don't forget to that, guys. And of course, to the guys who came in earlier, Tyler Vales, and of course, Arsenal 87, and of course, Jordan, right? Big up Jordan from Jamaica. Guys, I'll have to call it a day, or the stream has ended, right? It's already 1:30 p.m. in Malaysia, right? Hope you all have a good day or night or evening. Bye-bye, guys. Take care.